Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at the Porter Cable plunge router base and an accessory for it. So I've had an unboxing video of this in a previous video, and one of the things that this did not come with was an edge guide. And on a project I'm working on right now, I happened to build a jig and forgot I didn't have an edge guide for this router, and so I had to come up with one. And so Porter Cable does make an edge guide, and there's not a lot of videos about this. So the edge guide here is model number 45006. And this indicates that it's, at least it's pictured with the fixed base for the router and makes no reference to the plunge base. And so let's open this up and I'll show you how this works, because this does work with the plunge base router. And I would imagine this would work for the similar DeWalt plunge base. And if I can find a link for this from Amazon, I will put that in the description below, so you can support my channel if you've got this router or the DeWalt sister one. And so we're going to get a pair of scissors and cut that little string there. So once you get this out of the packaging, you're going to end up with the edge guide that looks like this. But we're going to do a couple little modifications to this to make this work. The first thing here is you see these little thumb screws here. We're going to take those out of the holders there, and we're going to set those aside. And then we're going to undo this thumb screw here. And we're actually going to have to take this completely apart here and flip this around. I have no idea why they did that. That's kind of ridiculous. Then we have to flip this over like this, and you'll see why in just a moment. I don't have any clue as to why the people at Porter Cable thought it was a good idea to do it like that, but whatever. And so now if we take our plunge base, with the plunge base, and we look at the side opposite of the rotating turret, you'll notice there's a slot right there. And because we've rotated this and flipped the edge guard over 180 degrees to the other side, whenever we plug this in, you'll notice there's a recess right there where the screws we removed can now go right in to be able to secure this to the bottom of the router. And so then, now if we do the same, now if we look at the fixed base router, so here's my fixed base, and it would be the exact same thing, again having to make that rotation 180 degrees to the other side with the actual edge guide. So I'm going to install this onto my fixed base, my plunge base, like this. And then now I've got a setup here where I've got an edge guide to go against the edge of my jig that I'm routing on. You could flip this over the way it was before. I don't know why, but the one upside of having it flipped this way is when you got the router upside down, you got your bit in there, you can then see a scale here. Maybe this won't come clear on the video, when the left side here is in inches and the right side is in millimeters. And so then you can adjust this forward and back to get the edge guide set exactly where you need it for how far over you want your router to be set. So if you're in the market for an edge guide, this is one option from Porter Cable, and there's also a DeWalt branded version of this. There's also another one that would have the rails that would go in it. It's interesting, on the plunge base, the rail width here on the flat side is different than the rail width side on the plunge side. But if you've got the fixed base as well, there is no way for a rail-based system to work. And so that's why I got this, so this will actually work with both a fixed and a plunge base, should I need it. So I hope you found this video useful, and have a great day. Bye.